Hi everyone and welcome to Buena Vista Cinema Review.
Do you like movies? Of course you do. That's why you're watching this show. Today we'll be reviewing Kingsmen, the Secret Service.
And then we'll take a look at our field agent as he tries to see what it takes to become a spy himself.
Kingsmen, the Secret Service is the newest R-rated spy film from director Matthew Vaughn, the man behind Kick-Ass and X-Men First Class.
The cast includes Colin Firth, Samuel L. Jackson, Michael Caine, and newcomer Taron Egerton, just to name a few.
Mark Hamill also makes his first appearance in front of the silver screen in many years, and right before Star Wars Episode 7 comes out this December.
The movie follows newcomer Egerton as he trains to become part of the secret organization Kingsmen, while at the same time Samuel L. Jackson plays sadistic technological genius Valentine, who tries to wipe out a majority of the world's population.
Some of the points that I enjoyed about the movie were Colin Firth and all of his awesomeness, Mark Strong is an actual good guy, at least to my knowledge, Samuel L. Jackson's lisp, and then also the infamous church scene in the movie. Now, Colin Firth, he is the epitome of just English gentlemanly class, I think, in this movie. He's so amazing and
Didn't he win the award for the King's Speech?
He did, yeah, and he portrayed that role perfectly. I thought he did a great job with the whole speech impediment in that movie. And then in this movie, you can tell there's an air of mystery to him. You can tell there's just so much more to him than he's giving.
You just saw James Bond just seeping through what he was doing.
James Bond,
like times 10 when it comes to
easily.
eloquency.
Plus the umbrella. I love how that was just a little bit of like a cue that he is gentlemanly, but also there's more to him because it's just so cool.
Because the umbrella, to explain, is kind of a spy weapon itself. Basically, like you can open it up and it's basically a shield. No bullets can pierce it, and he can shoot stun beanbag things at people or whatever.
He can kill him if he needs to, but he doesn't because he's better than that. He's a gentleman.
Yes, he never starts a fight.
Yes.
They start it, and he just kind of initiates it.
Mark Strong, who's the guy that plays Merlin in the movie, to my knowledge, he always just kind of seems like the guy that ends up being in those really traditional, like, creepy.
Yeah, he was the bad guy of the first Sherlock Holmes movie.
Right, yeah, and to my knowledge, he hasn't been in a lot of, like, good guy roles. But he did a pretty good job with this one. You could tell he was very smart and very well put together, and he did have a couple comedic moments.
Yeah, I was gonna say he was actually kind of funny in this one. I kind of liked they kept there was a scene when they were looking at the thing and they kept taking his clipboard and he's like,
right.
Well, fine, just keep it.
I don't need it. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I don't need it. Also, I thought Samuel L. Jackson's lisp as the character was an interesting choice because it doesn't seem like something this mischievous, sadistic villain would have. And he's just in there, he's like, I don't like blood. Anytime I see blood, I just start to get real thick.
Anytime I think that's me, I'm just done. And he actually had a speech impediment before, and he thought to change up to make something that's different for a villain, he thought he'd put that in there. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
nice.
I watched a lot of interviews after I saw the movie.
I can tell you've definitely done your homework.
Yeah.
And of course, that church scene though.
That is one of my points as well. The church scene, it's like a 3-minute fight scene, nonstop, one shot.
That easily is going to go down as one of the most iconic scenes of that movie and of this decade, I would say.
Yes, warning, this movie is very gory in some sense, and that scene is the epitome of it. It just, impalement, explosions, just...
Flaming axe to the throat.
It is intense. Now, my points of the movie, we've kind of covered some of them, is the action, the main character, the villains, and just spies all around. The main character, played by Egerton, is Eggsy. He's a newcomer, basically, hasn't done anything big other than that. I think he did amazing.
He did a really good job, yeah.
He held up with Colin Firth and Samuel L. Jackson and had some great action scenes. The church scene was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I saw it twice just because of that alone. And besides Samuel L. Jackson, his henchman was a henchwoman called Gazelle, and she had like the bionic legs and just took out everyone with it. And like they CGI'd them on her legs, and she was actually a dancer, which allowed her to move around like that. And I think it was all just amazing.
Yeah, her legs were made out of blades, and she could just slice through literally anything, which was impressive.
Yeah. Now that we've talked about the movie, let's go to our field agent Chris as he tries to follow the footsteps of Eggsy and see what it takes to become a Kingsman himself. Wow, that looked intense. I'm proud of our man out there today.
Good job, Chris. That's about all the time we have for you today. So for the final portion of our show, we're going to give you our scores and what we thought of the movie. What do you think, Spence?
I'm going to have to say that the greats were the action, the actors, everything spy, and the humor. I loved it all. It was amazing. My only con is that it might be too gory for some people. It is a rated R film, and so they use that rating very well. But it didn't bother me. I loved it, all of it. So overall, I'm going to have to give it an 8 out of 10.
All right. For me, I thought the benefits of the movie were Colin Firth, Michael Caine, Mark Strong, all of those very strong actors that just brought kind of an air of classiness to it. They really did a good job with that. The action was great. The fight scenes were beautifully choreographed and everything like that. Also, there was some really good humor moments in there.
Yes.
I also like the fact that Mark Hamill was in it just because it's been a long time since I've seen him in anything.
Yeah.
Like you said, though, there is a lot of gratuitous violence. This really is an R-rated film. And for some people, especially those with uneasy stomachs, this might not be the right movie for you. But it didn't bother me or Spencer, so I also would give it an 8 out of 10.
Well, that's about all the time we have here for today, so thanks for watching.
And remember, before you leave your house to go to the movies, don't forget to turn on your BVCR.